A reminder from the City of London. Keep all documentation and identification up to date. ID checks and searches keep London safe. You have nothing to fear. You have nothing to hide.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I said. Just gonna call him.
God damn it! No! Oh, fucking hell. Did I just wet myself? Any incident? What?
End of the day, these things are shit. He's shit, and his husband's shit.
This, thanks to CISA, isn't Britain all the more fun because of it? No more grumbling about your neighbours playing their music too loud, just simply report them to the state and have them, shall we say, involuntarily rehoused at Hotel Cass, the chain of hotels that was formerly known as the prison service. What was the slogan? Is it, if you see something, say something, or if you think you might at some point see something, say something, or if you haven't seen anything but don't like someone, say something anyway. Well, let's have a look at this new app, Alex. Let's just put it on your phone. I mean, at first glance with the interface, it's so neatly designed. A simple button to snitch on someone. It's so much better than non-government informer apps like Stu Leasy, Can Canary, or Narkshark. I just need to geocache where the person I'm ratting on currently is. Let's call her, for the sake of argument, Alice.
Sorry, Andy, I was busy reporting you to the authorities
What?
for rolling your eyes when passing a Nigel Cass propaganda poster.
Can you not let me report you first, please? Let's have some decorum about this. I'll just take a quick little photo so they can get a drone to pick you out of a crowd at your next riot or trip to the shops or walk in the woods. And you can input your accusations with the app. But let's go old school. Let's call the phone line. Let's call the phone line. Here's the number, listeners, in case you want to adopt someone in, as long as it's not me. 0044 203 807 3832. And don't forget to get the permission of the person who pays your bills before you call that number.
Hey, I'd like to report my co-host Andrew, who runs an underground satirical anti-government comedy show, for running and co-hosting an underground satirical anti-government comedy show. Also, he does terrible puns.
Well, excuse me, I have a suspect for you. That is my co-host, Alice. I have some evidence for you. She tutted audibly at the sight of an Albion vehicle in the street yesterday. She says she prefers pigeons to balloon drones. I mean, come on, seriously, when did a drone ever crap on a pigeon? And what's more, and look, I've no idea if this is true or not, but I have it on very good authority, so please write this down, that she owns not one, but two unlicensed fallopian tubes, whatever they are. But they sound dodgy.
If I had a crypto for every time someone had reported my fallopian tubes, I'd have 3. Which I think converts to about 120,000 Great British pounds in the old money.
We'll report back in the next episode about whether or not we've been arrested and interned. I mean, I love this system, Alice. I mean, no more awkward, rumbling resentments with your neighbours, your colleagues, or what the heck, in for a penny with family, you just dob them in and be done with it. But I guess it could backfire. I mean, the thing is with a family, inevitably parents and their children, they end up squabbling and today's Britain, your kids are going to dob you in, so you might as well get in there first and preemptively counter-dob them in to the authorities. What's that number again? Let's call them up again. Hey, I've got someone else. It's my son. Let's call him Norris. He never tidies his bedroom. He gets up late. He listens to illegal, non-government sanctioned music and is covertly plotting the downfall of the government and the restoration of a true democracy. Thank you.
Yeah, just define all your household chores as patriotic. And if they fail to do them, dob them in.
Problem solved.
If you don't do the washing up, do you even want a clean British ethnostate?
This is the Bug on the Buccaneer. Well, before we go today, Alice, let's delve into what we most miss about the old days. I'm going to kick off with the flag. I never thought I'd miss the old Union Jack, but somehow our new flag managed to be even more irritating than that. I don't know quite what it is, if it's the new colour scheme, or if it's just that it symbolises the loss of everything we once held dear. But that flag irritates the hell out of me.
Was everything you ever held dear Scotland?
Well, that was something I held quite dear.
I miss being able to dodge my friends' destination weddings in Italy. There's nothing worse than being asked to spend the equivalent of a motorbike on some sort of boat-based farce in Sorrento, and I always used to really enjoy saying, oh no, I can't afford it. Now they're all getting married in Brighton and I have to go to that alleged beach. It's made of rocks, Andy. If your sandcastle is an actual castle, that's not a beach.
Tell you what I miss free will. That was fun. Remember that? I mean, was it an illusion all the time? Who cares? I miss cash, particularly coins. I really miss coins. The fun of doing a head will pay go to the gym and then the best of 7, the best of 9, and I tell you what, that was a long losing streak. Now with crypto, all the romance has gone out of heads and tails.
I miss romance, Andy. I miss there being mystery in life and not just a hope that your new partner isn't good enough at hacking to find out all the information the government has on you.
Bye for now, Bug fans. Keep feeding the kid in the resistance, and one day it will grow into a Tyrannosaurus Rex that will use the Cass family as toothpicks, metaphorically, of course.
You're listening to The Bug.
May cause nausea, vomiting, and headaches. You're listening to The Bug, the Resistance comedy show brought to you by the Buccaneer Network. I'm Andy. Joining me, as always, Alice.
I'm excited to be here.
Well, there has been some news about DedSec, the resistance and/or terrorist organisation. Delete according to preference. Not preference, sorry. Delete according to whether or not you work for the government, SIRS, Bloom, the Kellys, or Albion. According to a SIRS official, DedSec is no longer a threat, which I guess is true in that it was never a threat in the first place. Reminds me of when my great-aunt Gladys had her appendix out. Oh, Andy, that surgeon's a real threat, waggling that knife at me, trying to knock me out. Well, they called a scalpel and an anaesthetic, Gladys. Anyway, if SIRS officials say DedSec is dead and buried, I guess we have to assume that DedSec has never been stronger. But I do worry, Alice. I mean, sometimes I think, is there any hope? Do you still have hope?
I don't think I'm allowed to have hope. We're living in the self-selected, algorithmically designated information equivalent of a propaganda state, and every resistance that I've ever seen is weaker than the British pound. I feel like hope is an expensive thing to buy these days.
Right. I mean, is it all totally pointless? What we do? I mean, it can feel pointless, but then again, I've spent almost all of my life doing pointless things like watching sport, thinking about watching sport, learning French and hoping for a better future. All completely pointless, but yeah, I've done them, so we might as well carry on. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? Yes, I think there is. Unfortunately, what is that light? Is it an oncoming train? Well, no, it couldn't be. Obviously, that train would be late or cancelled. Is the light at the end of the tunnel a burning effigy of the concept of hope? Quite possibly. Is it the soul of Sky Larson imploding into its own vacuum? May well be that. Is it the ego of Nigel Cass that is now so big that it's sucked all the light in the universe into itself? I think that it is most likely is that. But we'll never give up, Bug fans. This resistance will never die. And one day, we will again be free. Free from these technological chains, free to choose our own futures, free to live our own lives, free to waste our time watching people bake cakes and dance badly again. Those were the days. Over and out. Before we go, time for a quick bug off. I'm going to nominate this week Sky Larson here at the Bug. We are all in favour of strong, powerful women. And in many ways, Sky's the ultimate feminist icon, proving that women can do just as abominably awful things to this planet as men. I mean, overall, Alice, I think we're still ahead as men, but you lot are catching up. Fair play to you. You are listening to The Pub.
Everyday worries can become every night worries. Round and round and round they go. And stop. Kakani. Sleep better.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your pirate podcast source for what they don't want you to know. I'm Tash, and this time we're giving a special shout out from us to the boys and girls at the Signal and Intelligence Response Service, better known as SIRS. Why not? They're going to be listening anyway. They're listening to everything.
Home to roost. Nobody could find any receipts for what was paid for. Nobody could figure out how things were done, but everybody had a feeling that something really stunk and they couldn't figure it out. And yet it was standing there in their face the whole time. There's a couple of different ways that we got where it is that we are. I mean, one, you have a lot of smaller organizations, smaller power groups, companies as well, who are bending things just a little. Oh, we'll compromise a little bit, we'll bend the rules a little bit, and try to achieve what it is that we hope to achieve that's good for us. And if you add all of that up, what you end up with is a big wall moving in a big way, from a lot of little buttons being pushed. But also there's this other thing that's going on here, is the gathering of data and the analysis of data has authoritarianism contained within its DNA. It is by its nature a tool for authoritarianism, and it has been used in that way.
How does big data look into our lives? James covered it for the pre-crisis
We're starting to see the merger of private data and that with data held by the state into what are called social credit systems. This is where every aspect of your behaviour is monitored and totted up by a central system to sort of score you as a person, a bit like a credit card, but predicated on all of your behaviour rather than just the money you're spending. And this can have profound impact. We're starting to see systems emerge which will punish you and stop you from doing things in society based on your behaviours. And this can be as trivial as if you jaywalk, if you cross the road in the wrong place, you might lose points. If you do some community activities or help your neighbours, you might earn points. And then this can be used to sort of evaluate you as a person. And this could mean, for example, better travel privileges, being able to travel first class, or being denied from travelling first class to not being able to travel at all. These systems are very real and very possible because of all of the data that is now held on us.
So if your ears are burning and you think someone might be watching you, you're probably right. They're watching all of us. I'm Tash and you've been listening to Buccaneer. Keep listening, keep sharing the show and keep it encrypted. They're watching us, but we're watching them too.
You're listening to The Bug.
Nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain. Hello, resistors, this is The Bug, keeping the fire of hope alive in the vacuum of today's Britain. Okay, fires don't burn in vacuums. It's a little novelty Christmas light, shaped like a flame, but it's something. It is something to cling to. Joining me, as always, is Alice. And Alice, hold the front page. Technology, apparently, is here to stay. There's no way around that now. Much as I'd like to go back to the 18th century and see if we can have another crack at the Industrial Revolution and get it later on this time. But new tech is creating 4,000 jobs. Count them all, 4,000 new jobs, thanks to this new tech investment.
I mean, that's a very exciting thing if you're someone who wants to work in the tech sector, but I can only assume that this tech investment has created 4,000 jobs that will immediately be taken by robots.
Even if they're not, there'll be jobs that no one in their right, sane mind would actually want to do, but that's the price of progress, I guess. And we have to embrace the way technology is taking over everything, because maybe this is a ray of hope for us in this darkened universe, that technology will in fact render us all obsolete and we won't need humans at all, because look at the bad things that are happening now. What is the common denominator behind all of them?
I don't know, Andy, tell me.
All the bad things that are happening now, all the bad things that have ever happened, all involve human beings. They're always involved whenever anything goes wrong from the very dawn of time. And think of this, an automated Nigel Cash, surely a step up on the human Nigel Cash. You could even program it to have a tiny, tiny sliver of conscience. And if you had an automated Prime Minister, you could program it to be occasionally in the goddamn country. So that's, again, it's a step forward.
Again, I insist that there's never been a Prime Minister, Andy. I've never seen him, I've never heard of him. The only times I ever hear what the Prime Minister does is it's when nothing happens.
I mean, it has reached the point where, and I've thought this for a long time, we would be better off if the Prime Minister was a watermelon. No, it would be, I think we'd all be happy with that. We'd all know where we stood.
You hear him being praised for his diplomatic skills all the time, but the best mark of diplomacy is when nothing happens. So good diplomacy is indistinguishable from him doing absolutely nothing.
You are listening to The Bug. 4,000 new dream jobs for everyone. All I can say, Alice, is that I'm very glad that my children study drama at school, because that will set them up for life in modern Britain. That is the one core skill they need, the ability to pretend that they are living happy and fulfilled lives, that they have jobs that are worth doing, and that they're making the planet a better place, and that they control their own destinies, and that they have even a parody of a private life, and that they can smile without crying. That's what drama teaches them to do. Crucial skills in this day and age. Of course, it's not just the jobs that have been technologicalised beyond all recognition, it is also all reality. Thanks once again to Optic. According to Bloom, the Optic system is now the most secure it's ever been. And, well, of course, I mean, it's so convenient, Optic, isn't it? It saves us so much time and hassle trying to exist in the kind of realm of reality. We don't even need to bother with that. I mean, sure, the government has hacked into my soul and now basically monitors my every waking moment and thought. But at least I don't have to type, "Where's my nearest coffee shop?" into a search engine. At least I don't have to waste anything between 8 and 12 seconds every day going online to look up how to make a bowl of muesli. And at least I'm not frittering away my precious mental energies thinking, what do I actually think?
Optic is so secure, Andy. It's more secure than a teenage girl reading a women's magazine. It's more secure than a comedian with a drinking problem. It's more secure than a young man who's just got his first motorcycle license.
Finally, before we go today, bug off to the Prime Minister, who has once again FRO'd to who knows where this week. He sure as hell is not here in London. I remember back in the day, Alice, when our Prime Ministers were either incompetent or crooked, but
get yourself a proper warm-up. We'll be deploying soon. Enemy dropping into the AO. team. You'll lead them in. Gas is closing on your position. Suggest you get moving.
Mark some gear.
Eliminate all targets in the AO. Located a supply box. Secure that position. Enemies in the area. Enemies in the area. Objectives updated. Move to the next location.
Mark the buy station.
Contract updated. New objective identified. Enemies in the area. Disregard left. Enemy UAV overhead. Moving. I'll take it.
Moving out. I'm moving.
Primary objective accomplished. All supply boxes found.
I can use that. Good catch. Need recon on my position.
Hold out, drop headed your way. UAV entering the AO.
Setting
Roger
waypoint.
that.
Be advised, UAV is being overshot. Your teammates in the gulag. If they survive, they can redeploy.
Hold up.
Mate, just if you can't down someone, just don't shoot them.
Target mark. Send
They
it.
know exactly where we are now.
This is Loader 2-0. Good copy. Cluster strike away.
Losing ground. Teammate redeployed to the AO.
Let's take it.
Very good. Yeah, why don't you drop money? Let's get UAV. But I don't even want to push those guys, just go downtown.
Mark some gear.
Copy. Bounty contract.
Movement! Movement!
But honestly, don't push them, man.
Grenade out! Throwing stun!
You can get that UAV or not?
Movement!
Bryn, can you tell me how you guys, mate?
Movement!
Enemies in the area.
Taking fire over here.
Disregard left. Contact!
Receiving fire.
Oh yeah, let's go back spy. Okay, let's go back. Yep.
Bounty target is up.
Oh
Let's
wait,
get it
oh
done.
what? That's like right on me, that's crazy. There's one guy. You just come over to me and
Be
send me an
advised,
easy kill.
enemy team is
Oh nice.
tracking your location.
Oh no, the guy jumped off, right, you can go from the air. Where? Use the inside bit. I'm gonna go on this one. I can merge you. Oh, nice, so. Should I scream?
Enemies in the area.
How cool is this building? Aren't they?
Enemies in the area.
Yeah, I can't see that
Enemies
guy.
in the area.
Moving out.
I'm gonna come down with you, Green.
Movement.
Bounty target is down. Well done.
Still, there UAV. Orange jump down. Orange, where are we gonna need that UAV?
Movement.
Oh my god, orange, please get. Alright, green, drop me money. Cheers, mate.
Moving. Loadout drop headed your way. Friendly UAV overhead.
Oh damn, they're just camping up there. There's a guy at our left.
Get to the new safe
What's up,
zone.
Green?
Moving position. Marks in here.
Waypoint mark. Move.
Yeah, this guy's in that fire.
Taking fire.
Objective is to eliminate the bounty target.
They're up top floor, the ground floor.
Enemies in the area.
Let's pull back. Oh no.
Moving.
I think he's gonna land on the loadout. Our loadout. But watch out.
Enemy UAV overhead. Gas is closing in.
Yeah, he's in the sky over there. Can't ping him.
Enemy UAV overhead.
There we go.
Enemy UAV in the area.
Oh, he's had a snipe that whole time on me. How is he so bad? Alright, there's an easy snipe on the guy up top. Oh, that's for shots.
Taking shots! Flash out!
Oh my god, oh my god, he's literally running a fucking RPG. Oh my god, that needs to be illegal.
We're in the gulag now. Fight to earn redeployment. You have to wait for your turn, mate. The fight's on. You're up next, mate. Get ready.